Hello, everybody. Welcome to Hex Token channel. Yes, you are here. Congratulations. And of course, your host, Superman. Hope you guys are having a good time wherever you are around the world. We're going to get into it, folks. We've got some good information coming out the front here. So we're going to talk about Maximus. This is a pretty big deal. And of course, this will take time to play out just like everything else. But then we'll get into the prices in the market. We'll get into market prices. We've got no price prediction yet from Overwatch, the big giant whale. And so we're just going to have to wait patiently for that. But Maximus is a big piece of news. The biggest thing that I can think of ahead of, actually it's bigger than anything I can think of other than Pulsechain coming up. Although I am excited about the liquid loan sacrifice and user test interface coming out soon. But this is big news. And so we're going to talk about this. Let me just get into audio. Don't forget to get in the chat as well. Let me just think this is going okay. So we're going to get in. We've got a new member, Kelly Delfino, PA. So welcome. Congratulations. And thank you so much for your support, Kelly. And I appreciate that. So great stuff there. Big welcome from me. Brendan's in the house there. Howdy, Superman. Hey, Brendan. Always good to see you in the house. And we've got Crypto Heartbeat with a lot of heart in there. I love Crypto Heartbeat. Great to see Crypto Heartbeat in the chat as well. Another content creator, so represent. Whoop, whoop, whoop. How many content creators? 100 or so. I don't know how many I'd add them up, but they're doing a great job. We encourage all the content creators on this channel too to get out there and spread the word. Pulsechain, Pulsechain, Hex, whether it's raining or shining, just get out there and spread the good word. Is what I would say. What else have we got in the house there? I think we've got Brazology as well. Just waiting for my comments to come up. There we are. They're coming up there. We've got DCR in the house. Hex Token channel member. Excited. Good to see you, DCR. Ballet Brand as well. Great work, says BB. Hey, BB. Always a pleasure to have you in, man. Awesome stuff. And Empty Corner in the house there. Baby, I Love Jesus in the house there. Hello, hello, hello. Good to see Baby in there. And Christos says, woohoo, good evening, Superman, catching you right on time. Hey, Christos, it's really, really great. Hey, this is big news coming out today from Maximus. I'm not sure whether the markets picked this up very well, like the thing, but this is actually really big. I'm going to be actually doing a chart showing how big this potentially is, as well as a lot of other things. I think a lot of people are going to find that pretty interesting. So we're going to get into that. Not doing it now, but I'll be doing that on another occasion. So hold on to that. Brazology says, hey, Kelly, good to see you. Woo-hoo-hoo-hoo-hoo. Yeah, Kelly is in the house there. So Kelly, the latest member, Hex Token channel member. Now, if you want to become a channel member, just hit the join button. We've got Pulsechain, Hexkins, Richard Hart Club. Just a simple way, but an important way of helping support the channel as we promote Pulsechain, Pulsex, and Hex 24/7 pretty much. So twice, 2 shows a day, and of course 24/7 Discord. If you haven't joined that, links in the video description. All right, we got Christos. I'm very excited about what Maximus DAO has in store for us. I am too, Christos. We're going to talk about that whole suite of products that are coming, second layer products as we call them, onto Hex, building out Hex. So we're going to talk all about that. Sandy Beach in the house, TB in the house there too with the 555. Love it, TB. Woo-hoo-hoo-hoo-hoo, says Crypto Cogginal. I love that, man. It's some crazy stuff right there. I think you guys are crazier than I am. I'm crazy, but you guys are crazier than I am with that. What's up? Hexkins says Tintop 18 Stop and Pearl in there too. Man, we've got a fine crew in the house already, and we only just started. So nice one there. It's now our moderator in the house, foreman of Team 6. Woo! Good to see it's now. And hello, Hex Token, and everybody else, Sandy Beach as well. Hex Token, thanks for the shout out on your last live stream. It was really good. Hey, Sandy, a pleasure. And big Instagram model love out to you. How about that? That's pretty nice. All right, so we're going to jump over to get into it. We've got Maximus here. Let's pull out the big perspective. The big perspective is that our best information that we have on the circulating supply, and you can define circulating supply in a couple of different ways. But the best definition that we have, I think that's kind of working definition, is a Gunther the Accountant's Hex audit. I've covered that on another video with charts and everything like that, so you can go see that. It's a really simple way of looking at it with charts. But we've got user circulating supply as of June 2022, the beginning of June, was 17.7 billion. Now that's composed of inactive liquid supply, but 17.7 billion. That's down 11 billion from a year ago. So that's super bullish. Now, obviously, Hex is designed for people to stake and get their T-shares, and that puts Hex off the market, takes it out of circulating supply, and pushes it way out into the future. People get rewarded for doing that. So that's the key thing. But what have we seen? We've seen a whole emergence of second layer products based off Hex, and this is powerful. And we've had Hedron, we've had Maximus, and of course, we have got recent PUSD have announced Flex coming up, and now Maximus has come out with a new product which will be different from the 555 product, but is also going to get Hex off the market in a different way, in a more short-term time frame. So playing that short, long-term time frame off there, but will be a rolling way of getting Hex off the market. This is going to be another. I easily see a dozen products over the next say 12 months or so, maybe 18 months, just depending on how many people get in, but definitely new products rolling out that are going to absorb that circulating supply. So what's the importance about that, of course, is that it's going to reduce the propensity for there to be active liquid Hex to be trading because more Hex is getting off the market, and these products are pretty exciting. Not only are they're a win for the global position of Hex, in other words, getting Hex off the market, but they're also a win for the person holding the ownership asset of these stakes. So it's going to be pretty powerful. They can trade those in a secondary market and so forth. So pretty awesome stuff, and excited about it. So this is another great product, and it's just come off the heels of Maximus DAO's first product, which is a 5555 stake. And of course, we cover that price, that project every day with the price chart. So really powerful stuff. So this is actually, we've got other forms of pumpamentals coming down the line. We've obviously got the Hex Investment Trust. We haven't seen much more about that in terms of its purchasing, but we have got vehicles like that which are going to be doing bridging the fiat world and the traditional institutions and financial world coming into Hex, and that's super important, as we all know. But what we're seeing is all this product innovation around Hex staking, and this is a beautiful thing. I cannot understate that enough. It is really great, and of course we're getting more Hex off the market. So the first Maximus one, of course, did 294.3 million Hex, which is the same supply of the Maxi token, and of course that was a huge proportion. If I say 17.7 billion is circulating supply based on Gunther's Hex order, that is a huge percentage. So very exciting to see that. And of course, we're looking forward to more and more products like this. So not only do we have all these staking products, we've got HSI through Hedron, we've got Maximus original, and now we've got this new Maximus product, and then we've got Flex coming up as well. And I'm sure we'll get more developers doing other forms of second layer plays on Hex. So this is all soaking up. Imagine soaking up. There's a big bucket of water, and this is all just putting that sponge in and soaking up that water out of that bucket. So pretty exciting to see. And of course, now we've got this fourth product, so it's pretty exciting. And in addition to that, of course, not only do we have the Hex Investment Trust as well, these kind of vehicles, but we also got Richard Hart's wallet coming up, and that's expected to have a sacrifice as well. That should soak up some pretty significant amount of Hex out of circulating supply. So very exciting to see this, folks. It's going to be really fun to see this play out. Obviously, if we were down 11 billion on year, imagine what we could get another year from now with not only the Hearts wallet sacrifice, the Hex Investment Trust, and other vehicles like that, but also all these products for Hex staking. Now, this ignores all the retail virality and adoption that we might get with Hives of Stakes and with whatever 100 YouTubers or whatever we've got out there now spreading the word, all the people in the community spreading the word. This is excluding all that. This is excluding any of the large whales that like billionaires that we might have in a play. I've always estimated we might have, say, 6 or 8 billionaires around the place in some form, either some with decent positions, some with little positions, just tiptoeing in, as it were. So those are kind of a lot of unknowns. I think some of the people who probably have the best insights in that are probably Funding Gym and Overwatch and people like that. Richard Hart, obviously, stuff like that coming up. And so that's pretty exciting. Obviously, in addition to all these things that we've got coming up in terms of fundamentals for Hex in particular, we've also got obviously the big giant thing, the Pulsechain, coming as well, which is going to introduce so many more people indirectly into Hex. And so it's just that waiting game. This is a multi-year process, of course, but this is all the stuff like Maximus is just accelerating that. So really exciting to see this. Despite what's happening in the market at the moment, markets do go up and downs, and of course we're still trying to find the bottom. We're going to talk more about that when we get up to the Hex price at the stage. So let's get a bit more into the Maximus. Before we do that, we're going to catch up with the comments and just make sure I'm up to date there. Don't forget to smash the like and hit the subscribe button if you're new to the channel as well, and hit that bell for future videos. Dan Smith's in the house there. Hello everybody, peeps. Hey, good to see you, Dan. Humberto Gonzalez, cheers from sunny Miami. Man, I see so many good photos coming out of Miami. I'm just like, man, I feel like I'd need to go holiday there. It seems like a great place. What else there? Pearl says 0.04. Yeah, we're going to get onto Hex price a little bit later. Dan Smith says, anyone else feel the Maximus logo looks like a flyer for a strip club, says Dan. I don't know. I don't know. I don't have strip clubs, so that looks pretty cool to me. Looks like one of those premier clubs, I guess, is the way I'd look at it. TV's in the house. They already like this, says TV. Nice. Welcome, Kelly, says Sandy Beach. Absolutely. What else have we got there? Brennan says the M for Maximus stands for a millionaire club. I like that, Brennan. It's now. I was trying to figure out who Kelly is. Did I miss something? At the top there, it's now our latest member of the channel is Kelly. Sandy Beach is in the house. Oh, look at the top of stream. She's a new Hex Token member. Lol. Yeah, that's right. That's how Kelly rolls. Hex is the way, says everybody else eat the whales, join the marketing campaign. Yeah, so Hex is the whales done a really good campaign launch there. Eat the whales. Definitely check that on Hex is the way. Snana says I didn't scroll enough. Welcome, Kelly. You're in a good green. Yeah, that's true. Chris is in the house there. Woohoo! Hey, Chris, good to see you in the house. Funny Jim says 7 billion years. Yeah, I say so. That's what my ballpark's always been, about between 6 and 8. Yeah, that's a good number there. Some of them have got probably decent positions. Some of them just tipping their toes in. But once if they're getting really excited, obviously the pullback that gives them an opportunity to get big bags too. So we'll watch out for that. It'd be nice to see. I probably should watch a few more of Funding Jim's latest videos, to be honest. Scotty's in the house. Woo-hoo-hoo. Hey, Scotty. And who the hex would sell Hex at 4 cents? Lol. Hey, who would? But of course, once you get a price moving down, people get more nervous and then they sell down. So it's kind of like that psychology. If one of the largest ones here. Warped Impulse says I bought the Hex at 007. I think we'll get back to there, says Warped Impulse. Well, we're going to talk a bit more about that. That's definitely a possibility once we're down, getting closer to where we are at the moment, the 4 cent mark. So we'll definitely talk that. That comes into range, as it were. Let us jump over. So here is Maximus. This is the big news today. And of course, we're going to jump through to some of the actual announcement here. So we're going to scroll down onto Twitter here. Let me just pull this up. I'm just going to make sure I get up to the latest one. Now, I was looking at this last night, actually, before I turned in for the evening. It just came out at that time. So that was pretty cool. So there it is, the announcement here. So 14 hours ago, it's got our second Hex liquid staking pool is a Maximus base. And base is a perpetual 1-year rolling stake. So a perpetual, in other words, it's just going to go on, 1-year rolling stake. So every year it's going to roll over with an annual mint phase and redemption phase, just like the Maximus DAO stake, the 5/5 stake. So it's going to be a mint and redemption phase. That's going to be pretty cool on a 1 year. So that's going to suit a lot of people with a more of a short-term time frame. Obviously, we have a big class of people that like the longer stakes, and of course they get rewarded for that, very powerfully so. But of course, we have people that also want the shorter term stakes, and this also gets Hex off the market. So it's a win-win from that point of view. So that was announced, and then of course following that, Maximus said this index will track the baseline 1-year Hex APY or annual percentage yield, which is, I think from memory, is around about 13%. So on a 1 year, and acts like an inflation-adjusted Hex-backed stablecoin. The ideal liquidity pair for all future Maximus DAO stake pools. Stay tuned for more information and launch date announcements. Now, I do believe the developer is having his wedding on, so we'll be back a couple of weeks after that, and we'll obviously be quite fresh to build this out. So pretty cool. Here is another one. This actually came out. This is not. This is a bit bigger picture. Does not really do with this, but it's got Maximus cross-chain ecosystem, just showing how big it's going to be. And you can see that on the Pulsechain Maximus treasury, it's going to have PHEX, P-Hedron to P-Maxi in there. And also the Pulsechain is going to have all these trading pairs, PHEX to P-Maxi, PHEX to E-Maxi, E-Maxi to P-Maxi, P-Maxi to Pulse, P-Maxi to PLX, and Incentive token. Yeah, baby. See how big this gets? Really gets big. So it's pretty exciting. Pulsechain bridge, E-Maxi to E-Maxi. And we've got P-Maxi to P-Maxi, E-Maxi to EX. I was like EX to EX, and then PX to PX there. So we've got quite a few pairs in here. We've got Uniswap EX, the E-Maxi to EX, P-Maxi to EX, etc. So I'm not going to read all that, but I read most of it, but that's the kind of thing they've got there. They've got the Ethereum Maximus treasury, E-Maxi to EX and E-Hedron there. So you can see how big the ecosystem is when Pulsechain launches. Going to be absolutely epic. And of course, this is getting into outside of Pulse and PulseX and the Incentive token and Hex, which are Richard Hart's products. Put the Hart products at the top. There's a next level of products, what I call, I guess, the premium products. And of course, Maximus is putting itself well placed in the middle in that level, along with liquid loans, likely a fiat if they do everything right, fiat. Liquid loans, possibly Pulse LN and things like that, things that offer that strong utility base. They're the next closest thing to Pulsechain, and of course they add all those powerful features, those cross-chain bridges and things like that, but they're within a bigger ecosystem. They add a lot of value. That's kind of that next tier of value, and then after that you get all the other things. I've already done a video on that, so you can check that out on the Pulsechain ecosystem. Pretty powerful. So very cool to see that. That was a beautiful diagram. If you love diagrams, very, very cool. Then, of course, 5 hours ago, they did another thing on Maximus Base here. So Base will launch with a mint phase like Maxi, where anyone can mint one Base token, so a new token per one Hex, pledged to the Base smart contract. All right, so you put one Hex, you're getting it one Base out. After mint phase, all the Hex used to mint the stake for 1 year. So similar process to the 505 Maxi DAO one. When the stake ends, the Hex and Hedron are returned to the base treasury. So the Hedron will be at the base value. Obviously, there's no launch bonus like there is in the original DAO, which was a 4x, which is what Maximus captured, a 4x bonus. There'll be a base bonus there. So just the usual amount, one Hedron per B share per day served. So when the stake ends, the Hex and Hedron are returned to the base treasury and the redemption phase, and the new mint phase begins. So you can redeem and then mint again. Base holders can either redeem their portion of the Hex and Hedron. I love this, man. I love this. Hats off. This is what I've been talking about in the previous thing. So this is really great. Big claps for me. I got to control myself. I think this is really cool. This is what we want to see. This is like almost like you envisage, these are some of the cool things we can have that will really transform Hex, take it to that next level. Because obviously Hex had a lot of gatekeeping, a lot of other things. It's done extremely well. It's still growing very well, but the gatekeeping's definitely had taken its toll. But now these products are removing a lot of that. A bit like being able to see for the first time. It really is quite good. They're accelerating the Hex fundamentals, so we're very cool. When the stake ends, the Hex and Hedron are returned to the base treasury, and redemption phase and new mint phase begin. Base holders can either redeem their portion of the Hex and Hedron from the base treasury by burning their base, or stay in the pool by not redeeming, rolling over. The new mint phase is occurring simultaneously, where anyone can mint any new mint rate determined by the yield earned from the stake, equal to the current treasury value of the base. So mint rate will be one base per Hex. Current base treasury value, or whatever that will be in the future. And of course, when the mint phase ends, all the Hex in the base treasury is staked. So when the mint phase ends, all the Hex in the base treasury is staked again, and the cycle just continues over and over. So we're not worthy. Really, really great. So very, very cool. Obviously, Maximus is emerging as a front runner in the innovation on the second layer. This is really, really beautiful stuff. I suspect we will get more teams, and of course, they still need to deliver to this standard. Maximus seems to have launched pretty well, so they need to keep to that standard to execute and also build up the social following as well. So that was very cool. So nice one, Dipcatcher, which is the developer. I think it's going away on his wedding. Now, Dipcatcher did do a really cool video, and Twitter Spaces where he had an audio. I do strongly suggest you watch that, listen to that if you want a lot more extra information. Now, I don't think at the first, I think he's talking about the Maximus DAO, and then later on he talks about the product innovation like base. So just take that into account. So that's under Dipcatcher. I might just pull that up there so you guys, and I'll post it in the chat there. So I'm going to post this Maximus DAO in the chat there too, so you can check that out. But really, really cool. This is beautiful. Like I say, bring out to the big picture. We take Gunther's Hex audit. We've got 17.7 billion in circulating supply. This is just another one that's going to eat up more of that supply. This is why these products are so important. As I say, we've got all these products that are eating up Hex supply. We have investment vehicles like the Hex Investment Trust are doing that. We're going to have something like the Heart Wallet doing sacrifice, just like Pulse and PLX, that will take a certain amount of Hex out of supply. And of course, we've got retail and whale adoption, institutional adoption as well over the right hand side. So we've got lots of things that are going to be eating up that Hex over the year, next couple of years. Remember, this is a multi-year process. This is not next month. This is not the day after. You know what I mean? This is slowly and surely it's getting eaten up there. We also have the Origin account, which can do things to change the APYs around, and of course the inflation as well. Obviously, it already gets 50% of the penalties, so it's already pulling down the actual effective inflation or real inflation is well below the nominal inflation of up to 3.65, that's 3.69%. So that's really important. All those things coming together as one. This is really great, folks. So really, I would be excited about this. Really is a great thing. Sam is in the house there with the emojis looking good. That's a 97% dip from all-time high, says Chris. Yeah, I think we're getting pretty close down there. I'm going to talk about Hex price in a minute. I would refinance all my real estate if price comes down to 0.007 cents, says Sandy Beach. Hello, fan. Completion fails in the house. Just tuning in. When will this new project launch? It's going to be, I would say, a couple of months away, maybe 2-3 months away is my guess. They're going to be doing, the dev here is going on a wedding, I think, got his wedding on. Going to be away for a couple of weeks, as I understand it, Dipcatcher. Then, of course, doing, when he gets back, obviously, I'm not sure how far they've got with the code. They may have just done the sketch of the idea. They've obviously launched the announcement, so they're obviously going with this. Then obviously coding and then testing. They'll do testing on Pulsechain, and then of course then launch, right? Just like we saw with the original Maximus DAO. So I'd say a couple of months is in order there for this. Brendan's in house there. Hey, awesome stuff. I think so too, Brendan. Really is awesome. There's the link there. Lice Beneath in the house. How are you today? Very good, Lice Beneath. Hello all. Hex, EHEX, PLS, PLSX for the win. Absolutely. That is the top tier of victory at the top there, I should say. Good morning. It's 3 a.m. here, says ProHex. And man, some people are up. Sometimes I've been up at 3 a.m. So I can't say that's pretty early, but great to have you here, ProHex. Nice. So this is from Dipcatcher, the developer. Team is an income sharing coin. If you stake team for an entire base stake term, you can claim your portion of that base. So another token there, the team token. You stake team for an entire base stake term. You can claim your portion of that base stake of big PB bonus, bigger pays better bonus, sharing forever. 100% of the team supply will be minted at launch, and only Maxi may be used to mint. So you need Maxi to mint the team supply. That's crazy tokenomics. Full minting game theory coming soon. OMG. You thought it was good before just with the base announcement here. But then, of course, they have to just step it up with the game theory on that. So to get the team, you get the team supply will be minted at launch, and only Maxi may be used to mint. OMG. Can you see what is going on with me? And that's just kind of crazy stuff, man. So this is that next level of game theory on top of the base tokens. So pretty exciting stuff there. So team is an income sharing coin. You stake team for an entire base stake term, which is 1 year. You can claim your portion of that base stake that portion of that base stake. Bigger pays better bonus sharing forever. Remember, bigger pays better is up to 10% forever. 100% of the team supply will be minted at launch. 100% of the team supply will be minted at launch. Only Maxi may be used to mint. Full game theory coming soon. So exciting stuff there. Not sure if he's actually got any replies in here. This is the one. This is the recording here. So if you want to hear this one, I'm going to paste this recording. I do suggest if you want to get even more of the insights here, including time frame and things like that, definitely watch that Twitter there. This is really, really cool. Billy Bob says, do not forget this is the second layer stuff. It adds risk and how much you are gaining on a 1-year stake, says Billy Bob. Good to always question there, Billy Bob. New question, but does Hedron get copied over? New question, does Hedron get copied over? Yes, it does, yep. Brownie says, woohoo, morning all. Hey, Brownie, good to see you. Sure does, TB. Serena says, absolutely does. Great White says, got the emojis out. Good to see Great White in the house. Liza got the emojis too. That is the link there. I do strongly recommend listening to The Future of Maximus DAO with Zipcatcher. I haven't even watched all of it because I had to turn in for the evening, but I've watched a certain sections of it. Really, really good, insightful. And if you want to get that next level knowledge, Dipcatcher and Gold Key and that are really bringing that next level product design and very important stuff. So definitely watch that if you have any more questions. So cool. So that is pretty exciting. So yeah, base is a perpetual 1-year stake cycle with annual minting and redemption periods. This is an index that tracks the baseline 1-year Hex stake APY and acts like an inflation adjusted Hex backed stablecoin. This is the ideal liquidity pair for all future Maxi stake pools. Okay, so this is the ideal liquidity pair for all future Maxi stake pools. So lots of alpha being dropped here with this product stuff. When did I get to? I've lost my page. How did I lose my page? I don't know. Anyway, so that was the update there. Then 3 hours ago, the gladiators are building an empire, kings of the decentralized age. So some bullish stuff there. We got more around the Maximus cross-chain ecosystem, which we posted earlier. And I think that we're almost up to date here. Our first pool raised 50 million in 14 days. What will base do? What will base do? Crazy numbers there. So awesome stuff there. So how big will it be? It's going to be, I'd say, pretty big. Remember, 294.3 million Hex was committed to the original Maximus DAO 5 stake. So that was basically two times the goal. The goal was 150 million. That was like 2 times that. Really, really big deal. And hey, I'm loving this. This is fantastic. I'd love to see a couple more teams out in the space doing their own innovation in the space, and of course with quality products. That'd be pretty cool. Just eating up more of that Hex supply. Very, very powerful. Just accelerates the in game, as it were. Getting above 150 million Hex required for a peak 10% bigger pays better bonus is a great goal for all annual base cycles. Hex and Hedron yield would then be maximized for all participants with that bigger pays better bonus. With Hex at 4 cents, we're only looking at a grand total of roughly $6 million, says Anthony. That's true. So that was a cool reply. And then Mr. E says, looking forward to this one too. Instead of having liquid Hex sitting on the sidelines, it can earn a smaller yield of annual stakes, but it still remains liquid, and you can swap into high yielding Maxi when there's a discount period. So some good insights there. And that was pretty much for the Maxi team. So I hope you guys liked that. I liked it a lot. That's good news amongst obviously the price pulling back at Hex quite low. Now, for the majority of people that aren't buying Hex at the moment, of course, that's not a great thing. Obviously, portfolio values are going down, but the market's still trying to find that bottom at the stage. So very, very cool. Hope you guys enjoyed that. That was a coverage of Maximus. I'll probably doing, like I say, I'm going to be doing a chart of where I think circulating supply could go to. It's going to be hypotheticalized, but it should be a bit of fun to show you the possibilities. And I'll do that later on. But in any case, Maximus, man, this is what we want. This is really good. I'm very excited to see this development. Sandy Beach in the house there with the emojis, looking good. Late to the party again, says Great Way. Hey, you're never late. You just got here, so you're all good. Only Maxi, how does that lock up Hex? I think I throw up a small bit of, the base locks up the Hex there, Billy Bob. The Maxi is going to be used for the team token there. I think I will throw a small bit into projects touching Hex at this point. Maybe not all, but probably close. Everything Hex seems sound to me. Says TB. Nice. This will decrease the maxi supply and more pressure. Team will be very, very valuable. ProHexer, that's the end goal. Yeah, that's the point. Well said there, ProHexer. Nice one there. Billy Bob says that helps Maxi, not Hex. Helps both of them, Billy Bob. Yo Peep says Spike. Brennan says sounds like a good plan to me. Diversifying your portfolio is a pretty good game plan. I think so too. It's always good to have a bit of diversification in your portfolio, even if it's a derivative product. Especially if the product has a premium propensity. Maxi seems to show that trait at this stage. But of course, it's always good to have unrelated assets as well into your diverse portfolio. Sandy Beach says, we're just gone under 4 cents. Yeah, we're going to get into that. We're going to talk about that now. We're going to get into the Hex price. Don't forget to hit that like button, says Lightspin. Absolutely. Let's jump over to the Hex price, folks. Before that, we're going to do Hex daily stats. With Hex daily stats, the price can wait. Let's get into Hex daily stats. This has come off the press there about 40 minutes ago, actually, so it's not too... Actually, it takes about 17 minutes or so after the day closes for the data to show up. So day 922. Hex is obviously over a year now, 2.5 years, I should say, over 2.5 years. And of course, 11th of June 2022, we've got 4.1 cents as a snapshot, down 15%. No one likes to see the red stuff there unless you're buying. And of course, that's the name of the game. If you're buying, you're fine with that. Especially with Pulsechain still coming up. Pulsechain's not like it's disappeared; it's still coming, and it's still getting a 2-for-1 deal at the moment. So this is kind of a pretty nice price range for people. We were up at 20 cents trying to break the 20 cents, and now we're down at 4 cents. So just goes to show, you never know. Crypto can give you some offerings up for sure. If you're a retail book, now you can pull up heaps more Hex heaps more Hex at the current price. Pretty crazy stuff. Payout per T-share 6.216. Another great day in the office. 6.127, I think, is the base amount at the moment. So that's another premium there with penalties. T-share price, man, under $1,000. OMG, $939. And now if you stake that out for 10 years, that's going to be a third of that price. That's amazing. Divided by 3, that is $313 for a 10-year stake for a T-share. So you get 200% more shares over the 10-year period, 3,641 days, 20% more shares per year, basically. So times 10, 200%. And of course, that means you only have to pay a third of the price for a T-share. So $313 at the moment. That's pretty good. I might bag me up some few T-shares today. It's just the way it might be. Hey, Ryan Lopez is in the house there. What's up, family? Hey, Ryan. Always good to see Ryan in the house there. Another great content creator and awesome Mexican. Great to see Ryan. Welcome in the chat there. We got the T-share rate up 4.4 today, up to 22,744 at the moment. We got the average stake there at 6.6 years, so it's just slightly lower. We're our all-time high of 6.66. So we're just slightly off that. The APY, annual percentage rate, and based on inflation or interest, as it's called here, and early in-stake penalties is 39.21%. The Hex in the pool's gone up from 156 to 181 million, and the US dollar's gone down from 9.5 to 8.6 million, and Ether's down as well, about 22 Ethereum. Let's have a look at this. The T-shares. T-shares down 5,000. We're now at 10,421,000 T-shares. So this is what you can get at the moment for $313. If you do a 10-year stake, you can add to your proportion of this T-shares group. Remember, the Hex is quite simple if you think about it. There's a reward pool. The reward pool has the inflation and 50% of the penalties. And then there's an ownership pool. And the ownership pool has T-shares, which are trillions of shares. And of course, we simplify trillions into just the T-shares. And so if you own T-shares, you get some of the reward pool. If there's less T-shares, you get more of the reward pool. If there's more T-shares, you get less of the reward pool. It's kind of like that simple. Now, if there's more people early in staking, there's more penalties. So the reward pool gets bigger for that day, and you get more of that reward pool each day. So that's pretty much it, as in the sense. So that's a pretty key number there. Circulating minted inflation, of course, is relatively low. I think Wales only has a chart showing it around about 1.6%, somewhere in that ballpark. I need to double check that, but I think that's around that ballpark there. Circulating supply down 200 million. That's a good day in the office. And stake supply up 210. So that's a good day in the office there. We like to see big movements in circulating supply like that. Stake percentage of coins, 9.41%. Is we're at the stage, so a big jump actually, 9.37 to 9.4 with this big stake here. So we've probably got the whale bot in there somewhere as well. We've got stake percentage of coins at 9.4. Penalties just under 2 million, so another good day in the office. Anything over 1 million, I kind of think it's a good day in the office there for us T shareholders. Total holders 467,000, so we're up 193. Stake is up 42, total stake is up 87, and current holders up 28. So these numbers, we need to improve these numbers. That means the community needs to get out to tell people, onboard people onto Hex. Now the price couldn't be better, right? What a great price to get people onto Hex. And of course, it's already had, probably the vast majority of its pullback. Still in slight price discovery mode. We're going to talk about that next. So that's the results there for day 922. We're now in day 923, and of course, 3 years is 1,095 days. 1,095 days is 3 years. So that's coming up. We're in the next 6 months. We're over 2.5 years old, getting mature, right? Getting mature. When we're 3 years old, we'll be getting into the 4th year, and so on. It's going to really be quite cool. And of course, we're going to have the highest stakes come out before the end of the year. So that's going to help with the retail virality, especially if we get some good deals with some of the big streamers like Netflix, Disney, or any of those others. So we'll stay tuned for that one. That could be pretty cool. But in the meantime, of course, we've been expanding content creators. There's tons and tons and tons of them. You can go to Discord and hit useful links. You will see that we've got a couple of sites here, Pulsechain and X YouTube stream sites. And of course, you can see all the latest and greatest in there. We've got the PulseTube, which really does look at all the YouTubers in the house. And of course, you can go down to view channels on all that. And of course, look at all these content creators out there spreading the word as well. So we've just got to keep that going. Taking over crypto, taking over YouTube, the crypto space. That's what we've got to do there. And of course, very exciting to see that. And we've had a lot more female content creators come into the place as well. Thinking of Hexagon Girl there, Fashion Coder, Ashley Ash, Wild SJ, all those out there doing great jobs. So very, very cool. Very exciting to see that. So hey, we've got a couple of people in the chat as well. We've got Belly Brown in the chat there at the moment, Crypto Heartbeat as well. So big shout out to them, and Jen Hex. I think Jen Hex is in the chat there. So pretty cool. Obviously, if you want to see all the latest and greatest stuff, you can see people that are coming up on these channels here who's going to be live streaming next. So get out there and spread the word. But you don't have to be a content creator to do that. You can just tell your friend. You can just do some direct promotional stuff, maybe around your block. Just maybe every couple of weeks you do a leaflet around your block, or you could go down to the local car park if they're permissible. Put some flyers under the old car, the windscreen wipers there, or anything. There's all sorts of different things you could think of direct promotional, and we know that Richard Hart likes that, so definitely do that. Now, if you haven't gotten to Discord, of course, hit the link in the video description. Join up. We've got 489 members now, heading towards 500 members. So very, very cool. Get into there. We've got a couple of new members in there at the moment. So we just had Yadu jump in. So we're going to give Yadu a nice, cool membership there. So what have we got here? Heinz Crypto, is that the one? Not sure what Heinz Crypto, is that the one there? Might be that one there. So we'll put Heinz Crypto on that one. Very cool. We got Sandy in the house too. Nice Sandy to see Sandy in Discord. So definitely get in there. Good community and good information. That's what you'll get there. You got all the useful links into X and Pulsechain, how to trade, all that sort of stuff is in there. Check it out. We've got cool short video tutorials on Pulsechain and PulseX if you want to use the bridge, and they're all short. Also, if you're into all the projects going to Pulsechain, you can check out all the new token links there as well. We've got a whole nice fine list there of new projects going on there, and very exciting to see some of those. So definitely get in there if you want to chat about that. We're going to chat for that too. If you're Hex Token channel member, you've got special little chat group there as well. Plus, you also get a purple name as in the Discord there, as opposed to a blue standard name there if you're a Hex Token YouTube channel member. So definitely check that out. All right, we're going to get into it. Let's do it. We're going to get into the Hex price. We're here. We're finally arrived. to the Hex price. Names in house says Maximus ecosystem liberates gladiators. It does indeed, man. Very exciting. DB says, hey people, good to see you. DB's in the house. Vinrex is in the house. Hey Vinrex, Woohoo! Been a while. 72 watching, only 38 likes. Definitely smash the likes. Hit the subscribe. DB Cooper is Satoshi, I heard, says TV. Yeah, probably that's probably true. What else have we got there? Gen Hex is in the chat there. Good to see Gen Hex. Woohoo! Hey, Gen Hex, good to see you. Frosty Dog as well. Hey, my man, I just came in from surfing and you're on. Frosty Dog, I'm hashtag jealous. It's been a long time since I surfed, man. I used to love surfing. So a big shout out to you, Frosty Dog. I know the feeling of surfing, man. Going out there, especially early in the morning, coming back up the surf ride. Been a really good time. Man, you're so set up for the rest of the day. You're just like amped. So I love that, Frosty Dog. Gen X in the house there, clapping on. Frosty Dog. Yeah, for sure. Astri in the house. What's that? Maxi Action. Absolutely Maxi Action. Bam, says Finrex. What else we got there? Maximus base give a Pulse copy when Pulse launches. The TB in house there. Bishop. Yeah, so anything on Ethereum is going to get copied over to Pulsechain. So just remember, as long as it's launched before then. So we still uncertainty about the Pulsechain timeline. But even if the code is close to being done, it still takes a lot of testing as well. So I always like to compare that to an iceberg. We got the code at the top and 90% of the testing underneath the bottom there to make sure it all works all well. So time is unknown at this stage. Cool. Let us get into the chart here. So this is the Hex chart. We're going to have a look at the prices here. Obviously, let's actually go all the way down at the moment. We're going to pull this down just a little. I just moved that. We're going to pull this down to there. I'm going to take, the comments okay, so I'll leave the 5 for 5 there. Baby says, woo! Yeah, absolutely like that. All right, so we're going to have a look at where we're at the stage. Obviously, we got the high here. Let me just take the high there. Obviously, got to move this down even further, actually slightly down. Let's get the rule out here. We're going to go from the top here. So the 19th September on this chart, this is DEX Tools, US dollar versus Hex. And of course, we're going to scroll this down all the way down here. Actually, I can't scroll that far. We are currently at just under 4 cents and 92.46% down, 266 days since the all-time high. 266 days since the all-time high, 92.46% down. This is the linear chart. This is not the log chart, but we'll have a look at the log chart in a second. This is a linear chart, but 266 days down and 92.46%. So that's where we're at the stage. Now, obviously, the next support line is actually 3.6 cents is my support line. That is the next one. So the top one there with the dashed line is this. We're going to zoom in on this, actually. Let's zoom in on this. The top line there is, let me just get that right there. So that line there is 6.9 cents is the top dash line. We've broken that, obviously. Our next support line is 3.6 cents. That's a weak form one, so there's not a lot of support in the chart for that. At least the 6.8, we had 2 resistances there. We broke the third resistance, which was pretty good. We also had it as support here back in June as well last year. So that's some time ago now. The 3.6 cents only has one support line. That's it. So this is a weak form of support there, obviously, because Hex was just crashing through those prices, moving up as it were in the bull run there. Pretty exciting stuff to see. And of course, there we are at currently just under 4 cents, just slightly under 4 cents at the moment. Our low for the day is a 3.833, so 3.8 cents. A high for the day just under 4.5 cents for the day. So it's quite the range there. About 0.6 cents, so 0.6 of a penny is the range there. So our next support line is 3.6. Now a 95% pullback would be 2.6 cents. That's a 95% pullback, 2.6 cents. That would be a 95% pullback there. So that's where we are. That's quite far back. 92, that's pretty full on. So 92.6 would be 95%. And so that would arguably, one would generally think that's going to be the correction. In terms of the max, it doesn't mean it's going to go there. We've certainly got this 3.6 cent support line, albeit soft, a very weak form one. That's kind of where we're at this stage. Now, we already know all year we're going to have volatility with the inflation, with interest rates. It's been known for a long time. If you're reading articles that say it's a sudden surprise, it's all rubbish, of course. We're knowing about this stuff. It's pretty obvious stuff coming in. And of course, so we've got this volatility. We've got interest rate rises. We've got one apparently coming out next week in the US. And so we've got, this is going to be like this, right? So the market's going to react to traditional, just like it does in the stock markets. And people do risk off positions. There's always opportunities, but people do risk off, generally speaking. And we've got some of those players are in crypto now, right? So in terms of institutions, so they play the same games. That's kind of where we're at this stage. And of course, we get general people in crypto doing the same thing as well. So they risk off themselves as well. Now, obviously, Hex has the advantage that it has Pulsechain coming. And of course, it's going to have, Richard's already indicated that, indicated with no expectations that it's going to have, be one of the strong liquidity pairs. And so without expectations. And so it's still got that coming, right? And of course, everything on Ethereum is getting copied over, but Hex still has that coming down the line there. So it's going to be pretty interesting to see what happens to the Hex chart at that stage. But this time, at the moment, people will be able to pick up tons of Hex at the moment, 4 cents. Now, where's the bottom? Where's the bottom? That's the question. So we've got a little tool here. We've got the yellow line here, the 13 moving EMA. And of course, we're waiting for that to cross the 50% Bollinger Band here in red. So Bollinger Band is in red here, 50% price range. So the top of this range is the top blue line. That is the top 95% of prices. The bottom of the blue line is the bottom, which is the bottom 5% of price range. And the red line is the 50% mark for the price range. So imagine the price range between these two, top 95, bottom 95. And what we're waiting is for the EMA, 13 EMA, to cross over the red 50% Bollinger Bands to give us, that's represented by these two yellow squeeze here, to cross over. And it's getting narrower, but it's not crossed over yet. So we're not out of the woods yet, unfortunately. I'd love us to say that. I myself would, I would hope that this is the bottom, but we're not out of the woods yet. And we haven't got the crossover yet. So, and we can see that in the price action of the chart there. So we're still waiting for that. It has got closer, as you can see back up here in May. That was very wide. So the bear market, the bear trend was still your friend if you were looking to buy. And of course, they keep coming down here. You can see the big gap here. It has closed at the moment. So we will see whether it stays closed. Obviously, with the price action today, it's going to separate those two out of it. So we'll be watching that. Now, when it does cross, we can see across here, the 13 EMA does cross. We do get a trend reversal. We see that here as well, a trend reversal. Now it may take us 2-3 days to see to get that confirmed. You can see there's a couple of days in here as it's crossing, but that's sort of like we can have there. This one here is actually fairly close, maybe 2 days in there. We could see the confirmation there. So we do see that on the return reversal. So we're waiting for a nice clean crossover. Particularly a nice short one would be pretty cool. So at this stage, bottom's not in yet. Now, it doesn't mean that it's necessarily going to go down. It could move sideways. It could move up slightly. And of course, we're just going to have to wait for that to close there. So if we get some prices up slightly, that will close the two lines will close pretty quickly, the EMA 13 and the 50% Bollinger Band. So we'll keep watching out for that. Definitely narrower though. That's a good sign. But of course, I can see it just widening a little bit today with this big price move down. So we'll just keep watching that. We're not out of the woods yet. That's all we can say. But nothing's inevitable at this stage. Now, on top of that, of course, this assumes two things. This assumes we don't get any news from Richard Art around Pulsechain. That's gamified, that the market says, hey, this is kind of bullish. And the second thing is, of course, the crypto market, which is we're a sub ecosystem inside that big crypto market. And of course, I see BTC like the ocean. All the projects, regardless of how correlated they are to BTC, sitting on that ocean. I say regardless because they typically do get correlated to some degrees. So we've got BTC at 28,500, and of course it's been fighting at 30,000 for quite a while now. I'm going to pull up TradingView and have a look at that. So we're going to pull up TradingView and we're going to pull up BTC on the Coinbase, and we're going to pull that over too. We can see that we are miles away. We're in bearish conditions here. We've been fighting around the 29,400 line here in yellow. And of course, we've got all the orange there is the 50-day moving average. We've got the purple is the 100-day, and the green is a 200-day moving average. We can see that we've been in a death cross all the way back since January. And of course, we managed to move sideways here, but we're still in that bearish downwards trend there at the moment. We've got a number of catalysts against the crypto market at this stage. We've been fighting at this level 29,400, which has been actually really good. That's actually been pretty good. But of course, we're always waiting for another big green move down. And of course, I think that if we do get one, we're looking at 23,000 for that if we do move down. If that happens, of course, that puts Hex under a lot of pressure because we know there's a certain amount of paper hands and traders and speculators in there that will send us down. Maybe even some large holders, as we've seen before, large holders selling down some as well. Why do they do it? Well, they've probably got a few reasons. Some of the reasons are they want to get some US dollar cash. Maybe they want to bag some of their bull market payoff that they got in early. So, or maybe they speculated early, and of course they want to get more of that into US dollars. So, and of course they may consider buying back later at a lower price. So that's why we get markets moving down like they do sometimes. So there's a couple of different type of things going on there. So this at the stage, we're still battling around this way. So we're still in the range at the moment, battling 28,400. So we're still okay at this stage, but of course we could easily get this big red move on. Next week is obviously with the interest rate rises. That could be one of the catalysts that does it. So still not out of the woods yet. We'll have to wait and see how the market responds to that. But typically they do some silly things. I mean, they already know it's already priced in, but sometimes they regardless of it being priced in, they still make a move down there. So important to know. So that's pretty much it on there. And we're miles away from a golden cross. So that's where the 50-day moves over the 200-day. You can see the gap between 50-day and 200-day is massive. So there's no golden cross there, folks. Come in for a while because we've came down this death cross here, which is bearish. Obviously, it's kind of the way to go there. Cool. We're going to look at all the markets as well. Let's get into that. Let's find some of the comments though. We got TB says lucky me, lol. Yeah, lucky you for sure. Good morning, says Proexis, says Ash. Nice one, Ash. Hi, also says Fat Sammy Slice. Stu Copper says got your live Aussie and Ko Chang Thailand. Woohoo! Hey, Stu, good to see you. And yeah, still got to get out to Thailand. Look at some of that beautiful scenery and some nice culture there. Let it burn to the ground. I want to be a shark, says Ash. Yeah. Well, this is the thing, when you get down to these price levels, also you get people that wanting to get their positions in Hex because they know the future of Hex. They know all the bullish things that are coming. Pulsechain's coming 2 for 1. Everything's still coming. And of course, when you get this moment like this, it's kind of like a dream come true for people that are buying, want to get their positions built up really big. So cool. Where is the chart? I only saw it once on a stream, says TB. I'm not sure what you mean there, TB. Brownie says, loving the current prices, just grabbed another 100,000 X. Wow, Brownie, well done to you. And got the smash up there, nice one. To Brownie, got to do the old bow down to Brownie. How Brownie, you ledge. Mozak's in house there. Hi, Superman. Hey, good to see you, Mozak. Mozak. Tanya's in house. Worst decision I've ever made. Wish I never bought Hex. Lost so much money. This has been a nightmare. I said, Tanya, the special thing for you is to dollar cost average. So I did a video on that the other day. So definitely check that out. It means that if you bought at higher prices, maybe 30 cents, 40 cents, and is to buy at the similar dollar amount at a lower price, you'll drop your average dramatically, and then your dollar cost average break even will be substantially lower. So you only need so high to go back to that. So that's one strategy you can do there, Tanya. Definitely check out a video I've done on that. The other thing, of course, is that if you've got your Hex staked, you got your T-shares, that is still giving you some volume offset in terms of the price. So even if it's relatively smaller compared to the price decrease, depending on where you bought, that's also going to give you some offset. So those are two strategies for you, Tanya. Definitely check that out. T-Big Bishop says, I still don't have one T-share, lol, so I am the smallest, but I am close to it now and will buy the bottom hard when we get there if I can, and will DCA in for years regardless. I got a lot of faith in the 5555. Nice one, TB. I will buy it all of you at 1 cent, 0.2 cents, says Tanya. Yeah, don't think Tanya needs to hear that, TB. And it does it. Hollywood Chase says you haven't lost money if you haven't sold yet. That's true too. So yeah, you only lose money when you sell. Otherwise, it's just unrealized losses on a paper. You only make a loss once it's actually sold. TB Bishop says, "Shh, let her eat stake and sell to me." TB, yeah, well, we're not like that on this channel. We want people all to do well, obviously. So that's the way it goes. Okay, my bad, says TB. Yeah, it's all good, man. It's all good. Ash says you only need 10,000 to buy 1 million hex at the moment, 1 cent. It says Ash. Yeah, that's true. All right, so let's have a look at the hex at the moment on the hourly. So that was the daily there. We've got hex at the moment at just under 4 cents at this stage. And we've got Hedron. Hedron obviously down at 290. Getting pretty tempting for me as well, actually, at this stage. So I'm going to be starting to look at Hedron a little bit. Obviously not investment advice. This is something I'm going to think about in any case. We got Maxi. The thing with Hedron is it's got huge supply, right? And we're in bearish conditions. So this is the problem for Hedron. The actual utility of the platform is working, seems to be working fairly well. I haven't seen HSI use takes over. I might actually check all that stuff out and come back and report on that. That might be a good thing for me to do. We've got Maxi at the moment. Obviously, we've been talking about Maxi. Obviously, Maxi, the premium is what really matters with the Maxi. Obviously, the underlying product is the Hex. So it's the premium that we want to look at. It's currently at 6.6 cents at the moment. Let's have a look at the premium over Hex. This is what's the most important thing at this stage. 70%, basically 69.89%, holding up very, very well. Hasn't had the breakout at this stage. Yesterday we had a drop down to 60% premium, but it's sitting at 70% premium at the moment. So we may if we get a Hex move up, we may very well see this breakout. That's all that's needed, in my view, is for Hex to have a maybe a cent and a half rebound. And we could see this breakout of the 82% premium over X. And this is the range I've got at the moment. At this stage is this kind of premium range. The bottom being 52% premium over X. In other words, the price is 52% higher, and 62% top range is 62% higher than Hex at the moment. So working super well, and this is why it's so exciting to see the same team here, Maximus, launching this new product. So I'm excited about that. I think it's really, really cool. So that's Maximus. Finally, let's have a look at Pulse Dodge Coin. Now, Pulse Dodge Coin PLSD, free airdrop to Hex stakers who had stakes at the 20th of April. And of course, this has been the talk of the town for weeks now because of how well it's been performing. Now, remember, it launched at $1. I think the lowest price might have spiked down to 77 cents or somewhere in that ballpark. And the last one it was down was $1.08, back here on the 27th of May. So let me get rid of this comment here. And of course, this has had a pullback now. So this broke down past 275. So that means that we just don't know where this will go at this stage. But we've got we're going to have to turn the plane around. We're going to turn the plane around now, and we have to change the color of the plane because it's definitely red, not green. And so that's where it is at the moment. And it's down at $2.10. So that's where it is. Not much to say. It's probably going to have the same sentiment as the other charts, as red. In other words, sellers. But it does have something the others do not have, and we're going to talk about that now. It does have a launch phase on at the moment, and it does have scarcity in play, just like Maximus has scarcity as one of its attributes. This one also has scarcity, and we're going to have a check that out at the moment. So there's 122,418 PLSD in the pool at the moment. We're going to go to the supply. This is where supply doesn't really matter. If the market sentiment's down, then it's going to go down. But of course, there's always opportunities there if someone's got big enough dry powder once they think the bottom is in to push this up really high. And so that's what we're talking about. We're anticipating post the retrace. We've got 4.8 million PLSD Pulse Dodge coins at the moment. 13,911 holders. So the holders is actually up. There's more holders now. We've got the contract, and we're going to go check out the actual number of claims. Number of claims, 21,239 claims so far. We're going to do some quick math on this. Honestly, I need to get the snapshot out and actually add up the number of wallets in the snapshot because that's more accurate than this. So 21. I'm just going to use 91,000 as the base. In other words, 91,000 stakers. But I do want to get an accurate number for that. So 239 divided by 91 is 23.3% of people have claimed. So almost 1 in 4 is what's claimed at the moment. So, and of course, a lot of the people have sold those for their free airdrop. The holders at the moment probably still intact, I'd imagine. The holders look intact to me. That looks pretty similar to yesterday. So the top whales are still intact. They haven't. They're not the ones selling down so much. Possibly as free claimers, and maybe some of these smaller accounts have sold some. But the top wallets seem to be pretty intact there. And of course, let's have a look at some claims here. 16 minutes ago, we've had some crabs and tinkering turtles claim. What else there? Yeah, so tinkering turtles and crabs, heaps of crabs claim. It sounds bad when I say crabs for some reason, not sure why that is. But 2 hours ago, we had heaps of claims in here. So we're getting a few of those probably selling into the market there as well with the multi-calls and things. So cool. That is pretty much it on Pulse Dodge. And let's see how many days we got to go. Too many days. Now, 47 days and 12 hours to go until the end of the launch phase. Remember, the maximum that can ever be is 12 million and 12 million 2,000, somewhere in that ballpark. We've only got 4.8 at the moment. We've got to add in the BA address. So if we add that in, 21, 200,000, what did I say, 213 times 10. So that's 212 tokens will be minted for the OA account, the Origin account, and 212,000 Pulse Dodge coins will be issued for the BA address, the Benevolent address, which is kind of like, I guess, the owner's address, the developer's address. So that is 424,000 that will be added to this number here. So if we add that to that, that is 4826,180. So we've got the total supply currently at about 5.25 million now. So 5,250,000 Pulse Dodge are expected. But of course, we've still got, as we say, was it 47 days to go. So we'll see how we get on. But maybe 6 million. 6 million at the end. It's looking probably likely because the claims have, I think they are slower. I think they have slowed down. So yeah, maybe 6 million, somewhere in that ballpark, and we might end up with supply. That scarcity play could be quite useful for the whales as we get closer to the end of the launch phase. We might have a little rally at the end with claims, like you typically see. People going, oh well, I'm going to claim anyway now. You know, I didn't want to claim, but I'm going to claim now. I might get a bit of those, and of course, once the fixed supply and the whales could move the price, they have to collude together, right? They have to collude. They have to be a pretty tight-knit thing. Obviously, Gunther and Ned have talked about, you know, their little syndicate. Of course, they're only as good as the weakest whale. Remember that. They're only as good as the weakest whale. If one decides to sell, you know, all hell breaks loose, right? It can happen too. So just take care out there with that. So, but we're gonna have fun watching. Have fun watching and see whether they can turn this PLSD into a scarce, very popular meme coin. Which is the attempt at the moment. So we'll see how it gets on. Let me know in the chat what you think about that. But once again, it is still speculative. We must always say that, not investment advice as well. All right, cool VIP, as we say, cool VIP. That is pretty much that. Hey, 1 hour and 2 minutes. Can you believe it? We've just actually been smoking through this live stream. But the talk of the town, of course, that Maxi launch, are very, very powerful. I think we should be very excited about that. All right, we're going to leave it on these charts as I get through some of the comments. Let's get into it. What else there? We got some strange there. We're up to there. Ash says, it's okay, Tanya. This happens all the time. We all bought some all-time high. Yeah, and the thing is, you can dollar cost average, and you can even hold off a little bit if you want to. If I got 1 million Hex, I would die happy, says TV. Billy Bob says, bought Bitcoin at 19,500, went to 3,800, bought some more, sold it all the way higher when we are actually called the top, says Billy Bob. Nice one, Billy. Tanya, if it helps, I'm mentally prepared to pay over $10 per X already in the future, says TV. What else have we got there? We're going to jump through some of those. Cool. It's almost like we only had 2 people in the chat there. We had Billy Bob and TV in the house there. It was pretty fun. Tinchy says, sugar me, go sugar, you go from down under, says Tinchy. Hey, nice one. All right, so that's pretty much where we're at the stage. We're going to actually play a little video from Richard Hart as a bit of inspiration about what's coming up. So let's pull this out here as well. So we're going to do, he's going to, I'm up to this, I'm trying to get the right one here. Let me make sure I got the right one. We are still waiting for liquid loans, by the way. We're still waiting for liquid loans to come out with the sacrifice balances and the user tester. That's the next big thing coming up. So stay tuned. That Maximus was a nice surprise. That was a very nice surprise coming up there. I'm not sure which one I'm looking at here, but I think this might be this one.
I think Tony Robbins seminars are pretty great. You know, he doesn't have everything perfect, but he's got it 80% right. So maybe his finance stuff isn't that great. Maybe his health stuff's okay. But his Date with Destiny, Unleash the Power Within, human needs psychology, that kind of stuff. I think that's really his best material, So if you can go to the $3,000 or $5,000 Date with Destiny event, it's a great event, And that guy's had his own name as his own brand for 30, 40 years or something like that. And it's worked out pretty well for him. I always said, if you're gonna be in the self-help game, learn from the guy who self-helped himself the hardest and has the best, he's the most successful success guy. You're he's obviously doing something right. I think that I improved on a lot of his stuff, and you can read it for free at t.me/sci5. Free self-help books. Read them, they're good. I wrote them. And I look, hey, worked out okay for me. I think I'd still be writing the Sci5 book. Probably the better name, because the Sci5 name didn't hook so good. But before I came out and started doing YouTube videos about crypto, I was just doing YouTube videos teaching people to have better relationships, give better apologies, be healthier, happier. And I would just keep doing that. I was already retired, so just trying to make the world a better place. So there is no such thing as perfect security. Perfect security, you have a ratio between the amount of effort you put into being secure and the amount of effort that people are using to attack you. And then you have what's called attack surface. The more places that you have to secure, the less secure a thing is. Hex was more easy to secure than a lot of things because it has a limited number of functions, and most of those functions timed out. So for instance, if there was a flaw in the referral program, that doesn't exist anymore. So it doesn't matter. If there was a flaw in the adoption amplifier, it doesn't exist anymore. It doesn't matter. And so by restricting the number of functions and making the code immutable so that it can never change, it allowed us to be extremely secure, which is why we've never had an inflation bug. We're extremely resistant to inflation bugs, but Bitcoin's had several inflation bugs. Monero's had inflation bug. XLM's had an inflation bug. Ravencoin's had an inflation bug. Coins have inflation bugs, which basically means you can mint as many free coins as you want all the time, but my coin doesn't. It's a superior design. Now, Pulsechain, we're using the most secure software that's out there already, which is Ethereum. It's never had an inflation bug. And we're fixing a lot of things. The code that is Ethereum isn't perfect, and we're making it better than what we got.
Yeah, so these are 3 out of the 7 different highest of stakes little video teasers we've had lately. That last one is really cool around the enhancing the Ethereum code. So I think that's pretty exciting. This is my favorite one. I'm going to play the last one. This is number 4 that I like, and so I'm going to play this because this is probably my favorite one out of Richard's little teasers out of the 7. So I think this is the right one. Hopefully it's the right one. Here we go.
I think cryptocurrency is one of the few things in the world that could really return power back to the people. Every year you get less and less choice. Your money's worth less and less. Your hours get longer. It seems like almost everything's getting worse. And crypto is one of the few things that lets you extract yourself from that horror. You can participate in the world's highest performing asset class. You can participate in trustless peer-to-peer revolution in finance where there's no banking hours. We're open 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. It's you and the code. Nobody else can stop you from cashing out. Nobody else can stop you from doing what you want to do. And when you give people the power to create good things, they quite often do. A lot of innovations come from cryptocurrency. There's things you can do in crypto that you can't do anywhere else in the world. And I'm proud to be part of that revolution.
All right, so I think that's pretty inspiring from Richard, and it's very positive for what's coming up. I'll just stay calm, everybody. Obviously, I like K4K did a little video about how the price pulls back. I mean, when the price pulls back, there's always opportunity to dollar cost average and get your average down, your average break even down as well. and also pick up more T shares, because Hexes are really about getting T shares. So that's always good to do that. I'm going to play K for K's little video here. I think it's pretty funny. So we'll have a look at this.
Hex went up 500%, and then it crashed down 40%. And then another time, Hex went up 10,000%, and then it crashed down 56%. And then another time, Hex went up 450%, and then it crashed minus 75%. Then another time, Hex went up 13,400%, and then it crashed 87%. Moral of the story is, don't buy Hex, because you know it's going to crash.
So that was pretty funny way of looking at it. But basically the message is, there are pullbacks around the game. And of course, that's where it is at the moment. We're down near somewhere trying to find the bottom of that next one. And of course, you can try and find an opportunity to, dollar cost average and pull out your position quite good. So it is a really good opportunity at the moment as well. Mud Dog says, going to Redneck Riviera soon. Not sure what that is, Mud Dog. Is that somewhere in the United States? Bitnafet says, too excited. Hey, Bitfinex, good to see you in the house. Too excited, me too. Pulua says, I could not catch this guy not telling the truth and trying to help people. I had to bet on him. RH is the goat of crypto, says Mud Dog. Lol says TB. Nice. All right, so there's some cool stuff going on there. And let us get back into the charts there. We've got, going to play one more later on. Like I say, we're waiting for liquid loans and SAC balances. That's what we're expecting next, everybody. I think that's going to be a lot of fun. Hopefully we'll get that in the next day or two. Matt did say this week, so we've still technically got a bit of time for it to meet that timeline. We'll see how we get on there as well. I think that was probably the ones I wanted to highlight there. Yeah, just looking through on those. So cool. So who was that back further there? I think it was Brenton, was it? Brennan? Let me jump to topic here. Brownie. Brownie says, loving the current prices. Just grabbed another 100,000 X. So nice one there, Brownie, on that one. Cool Vip, as we say, cool Vip. All right, so we're coming up to an hour and 12. We're going to wrap up in a couple of minutes. I'll be back. I do 2 live streams a day, so I'll be back on again in about probably 4.5 hours time, somewhere in that ballpark. So we'll be catching up. Hopefully we're going to get some news. Hopefully we could possibly even have liquid loan stuff out there. Who knows? Just luck of the draw. We could have Overwatch price prediction on Pulse and Pulsex. That's expected to come out, so we're looking for that. And of course we'll do an update on the prices at the moment as well. So that's going to stay tuned for that. Hopefully that will come up if we're lucky. That will be out later on in the day. So stay tuned for that one as well. So cool. We're going to wrap up now, and let me just play out another video on the way out. We're going to actually 2 videos. We're going to play out 2 videos here. Let's play out this one with. Actually, no, we're just going to do 1 video. Let's play out this one on the way out. So this is we covered this yesterday. We had Magic Carpet Ride on. If you haven't checked out that video yesterday, we did special guest Magic Carpet Ride Ty. It was really, really fun. I enjoyed it a lot. We talked about liquid load SAC balances. We talked about Power City. And of course we talked about Magic Carpet Ride sacrifices as well. So that was pretty cool topics there. We're going to play out the teaser on the way out. This is how we rock. This is really funky too. So the Power Core, I think, is going to be one of the top products in there, out there when Pulsechain launches. And of course the ecosystem looks really, really amazing. So it's going to be fun. And this is their Power Core. So all the products that they have, including one of the bridges, is going to feed in the revenue into the core, and people get to share that if they own the Watt token. So we're going to watch that. Cool. I hope you guys enjoy this one. I will catch you guys tomorrow. No, not tomorrow. It's this afternoon. It's not tomorrow yet. This afternoon. I'll catch you guys then. All right. Take care. All right, take care. See you in the next one. Bye for now. Peace.